Deep beneath the rolling hills of Pennsylvania, 230 feet underground, lies one of America's most bizarre government operations. In a vast limestone mine that looks frozen in time, thousands of federal retirement applications sit waiting to be processed by hand. This isn't science fiction. This is the reality of how the United States government handles retirement paperwork in 2025. As Elon Musk recently uncovered, this cavernous underground facility, staffed by nearly 1,000 workers, holds millions of paper files in a scene that could have been plucked straight from the 1950s. The speed at which people can retire from the federal government, Musk explained, is literally limited by how fast a mineshaft elevator can move. And when that elevator breaks down, well, retirement processing grinds to a halt. Despite spending over $100 million attempting to modernize this system over the past 3 decades, federal workers still process these life-changing documents at the same pace they did in 1977. In an age where private companies store data in the cloud and process information at lightning speed, our government relies on limestone walls and manual filing systems to handle the retirement dreams of its dedicated workers. Welcome to the Elon Musk 24-hour channel, where today we're taking you inside this remarkable underground operation that's caught the attention of the world's most talked about innovator. Let's dive right in. When anonymous employees first reached out to share photos of their workplace, no one could have predicted the stark reality they would reveal. These images, now circulating across social media, show endless rows of paper files stretching into the darkness, held up by massive limestone pillars that have stood silent witness to decades of government bureaucracy. The story of this underground facility in Pennsylvania begins in 1955, when the federal government decided to repurpose an abandoned limestone mine into what would become the Office of Personnel Management's Retirement Processing Center. At the time, storing papers underground in naturally climate-controlled caves seemed cutting edge. Now, 70 years later, this facility stands as a testament to government inefficiency, a living museum where time seems to have stopped. Every month, 10,000 federal workers submit their retirement applications, each one hoping to begin the next chapter of their lives. But what happens next would shock most Americans. These applications, containing the hopes, dreams, and hard-earned benefits of our civil servants, descend into the earth via a single mineshaft elevator, where they join millions of other paper files in the cavernous depths below. The elevator breaks down sometimes, Musk pointed out during his investigation, his voice carrying a mix of disbelief and concern. And then you can't retire. It's not just an inconvenience, it's a critical failure point in our government's infrastructure that directly impacts people's lives. Consider Sarah Martinez, a former postal worker who shared her story with us. After 35 years of dedicated service, she submitted her retirement paperwork, expecting to begin her retirement within a few months. 6 months later, she was still waiting. I had already planned my retirement celebration, my cross-country trip to visit my grandchildren, she tells us, her voice wavering. Instead, I found myself calling the office weekly, trying to figure out where my application was in the process. The facility employs nearly 1,000 people, each one tasked with manually processing these critical documents. They work in conditions that would seem familiar to office workers from the 1950s. Rows of filing cabinets, paper forms, and manual data entry. The contrast between this underground operation and the modern digital world above couldn't be starker. Former Congressman Jason Chaffetz, who has long advocated for government modernization, shared a shocking comparison during our investigation. Holding up an 8-inch floppy disk, he explained, it takes 3.2 million of these to equal one modern flash drive. Yet similar outdated technology still powers critical government systems, including some in the Department of Defense. The government has not been blind to these problems. Over the past 3 decades, various administrations have invested more than $100 million in attempts to modernize the system. But each modernization effort has failed, leaving the facility operating at the same pace it did in 1977. The Washington Post's investigation revealed that processing times haven't improved in over 45 years, despite technological advances that have transformed every other aspect of our lives. The human cost of this inefficiency is staggering. Each year, thousands of retired federal workers face financial uncertainty while their applications slowly make their way through this underground labyrinth. Many are forced to survive on partial interim payments, which can be as little as 40% of their earned retirement benefits. John Peterson, a retired EPA scientist, describes the anxiety of waiting. "I spent 32 years protecting American waters. Now I check my mailbox every day, hoping for news about my full retirement benefits. My wife and I had to postpone selling our house and moving closer to our kids because we don't know when we'll have our full retirement income." The facility's location, 230 feet underground, was originally chosen for its natural temperature control and security. However, as one anonymous employee revealed, the lack of natural light and windows has taken its toll on worker morale. "We're processing people's futures in conditions that belong in the past," they shared. "Some of my colleagues have worked here for decades without seeing daylight during their shifts." The security argument for keeping these records underground has also become increasingly questionable. During the 2015 OPM data breach, hackers successfully accessed the personal information of 92 million Americans, proving that physical security doesn't guarantee digital protection. Yet the government continues to resist comprehensive digitization of these critical records. What makes this situation even more frustrating is that private sector companies have long since solved similar challenges. Modern data centers, secure cloud storage, and automated processing systems have transformed how corporations handle sensitive information. Medical records, legal documents, and financial data are now routinely processed digitally with sophisticated security measures protecting privacy. The contrast between the government's approach and private sector solutions has caught the attention of tech leaders like Elon Musk, who sees this as symptomatic of a larger problem in government operations. "This isn't just about retirement processing," he emphasizes. "It's about government systems being stuck in the past while technology races forward." The human element of this story extends beyond the retirees waiting for their benefits. The facilities workers face unique challenges too. Maria Thompson, who has worked in the underground facility for 22 years, describes the dedication of her colleagues. "We know how important these papers are. Each file represents someone's future. We do our best with the systems we have, but it's like trying to run a modern race with ancient tools." The facility's antiquated systems have created another unexpected problem: institutional knowledge locked in the minds of aging workers. Some of the machines used to process applications are so old that only a handful of elderly employees know how to maintain them. The government has had to retain workers well past retirement age simply because they're the only ones who understand how to keep these outdated systems running. Yet despite these challenges, attempts to modernize face resistance from various quarters. Some argue that paper records provide security that digital systems can't match. Others point to failed modernization attempts as proof that the current system, however flawed, is the only viable option. But as Musk and others have pointed out, these arguments ignore the successful digital transformations achieved in other sectors. The situation has caught the attention of lawmakers and government watchdogs. Recent congressional hearings have highlighted the need for urgent reform, but progress remains slow. Meanwhile, each day, more retirement applications descend into the limestone caverns, joining the millions of papers already waiting for processing. The irony isn't lost on those familiar with the situation. A system designed to help people transition into retirement has itself refused to move into the modern era. As one retired federal worker put it, "My entire career was spent helping modernize government computer systems. Now my retirement is stuck in a cave, waiting to be processed by hand." It would be funny if it weren't affecting real people's lives. Some of the proposed solutions are straightforward: modern document management systems, secure cloud storage, and automated processing tools. Others are more complex, involving complete overhauls of how the government handles personnel data. But all solutions face the same bureaucratic hurdles that have kept the underground facility operating in its time-warped state. The story of this underground facility serves as a powerful metaphor for government inefficiency, but it's more than that. It's a real place where dedicated workers struggle with outdated systems to process the retirement dreams of their fellow civil servants. It's a reminder that behind every government process are real people, both those waiting for their benefits and those working to provide them. As pressure mounts for modernization, the limestone caves continue their silent vigil, holding the paper records of countless federal careers. The question isn't whether change will come, it's whether that change will arrive before another generation of federal workers finds their retirement dreams descending into these underground chambers, where time seems to stand still. Through our investigation, one thing has become clear. This isn't just a story about outdated technology or government inefficiency. It's a story about people, dedicated civil servants who deserve better than to have their retirement dreams processed in a cave, using systems that belong in a museum. The time for modernization isn't just ripe, it's long overdue. As Elon Musk's revelations about this underground facility continue to spark debate, one thing is crystal clear. Our federal workers deserve better. While private companies launch rockets into space and develop artificial intelligence, thousands of retirement applications sit in limestone caverns, waiting to be processed by hand. The solution isn't just about modernizing technology, it's about transforming how we value and respect our civil servants' contributions. Every day that passes with this antiquated system in place is another day that dedicated federal workers have to put their retirement dreams on hold. What are your thoughts on this underground time capsule? Have you or someone you know experienced delays in retirement processing? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences could help shed light on this critical issue affecting thousands of Americans. If you want to stay informed about more eye-opening investigations like this one, hit that subscribe button and join the Elon Musk 24-hour channel community. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to stay updated on the latest tech revelations and government oversight stories that matter. For those who found value in this investigation, help spread awareness by hitting that like button and sharing this video with friends and family. Together, we can push for the changes our federal workers deserve. This is Elon Musk 24 Hours, bringing you the stories that shape our future. Until next time.